All right, guys, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. I just want to welcome you guys to one of your final events as students in the class of 2014. The next time you guys are all together will probably be the last time you are students together, and then after that you'll all be alums at the 5-year reunion, the 10-year reunion. This is one of those final events that you guys can appreciate and enjoy as students. Over the past 4 years, I've had the privilege and honor of teaching many of you guys, coaching many of you guys, spending time on a kairos, and a number plunge with you guys. I've kind of been able to experience and watch you guys grow and develop from kind of young, immature freshmen to young men who are excited, kind of filled with potential to go out in the world and be a positive force in the world. And to do what St. Ignatius told us to do, and that is to go and set the world on fire. First, I want to congratulate you guys on your upcoming graduation and all of your accomplishments here at Prep. And I want to wish you the best as you leave our campus and kind of go beyond the borders of North Benson Road and southwestern Connecticut. And you guys have experienced a lot over these past 4 years. A lot of good things, a lot of not so good things, but they've all been experiences that have made you who you are today. You have a lot to be proud of, so congratulations on your accomplishments. It was 10 years ago that I kind of sat exactly where you guys are now. I was a senior at BC High, and I was kind of thinking about what life would be like in college and what life would be like after BC High. And my journey was taking me here to this campus, Fairfield University, and I was excited and I was nervous all at the same time. But as I think back to my college years that you guys are about to embark on, years for me that were filled with tremendous accomplishments and success and sometimes heartbreaking failures, 3 things come to mind that I just want to kind of relay to you guys that I think helped me really have a rewarding experience in college. But the first is to be a man for others. It was at BC High, just like it was at Fairfield Prep for you guys, that I first was exposed to the phrase, to be a man for others. And over the past 4 years, you guys have shown what it means to be a man for others through your interactions and your relationships with your family, with your friends, with your teachers. And you've all done service in our community, and you've been able to impact so many people in the greater Fairfield community. Some have gone so far as to travel to Ecuador or El Salvador, Jamaica, and act as a man for others to people in those countries. Now your task is difficult. Being a man for others at Prep is easy. It's really ingrained in everything you do. It's said to you over and over again. It's one of the first things you hear when you enter Prep. It's one of the last things you hear as you leave Prep. It's easy to do it here. Now it's a challenge. Now it's your choice. You've learned how to be a man for others. You've been taught how to be a man for others. You've learned from your teachers, from your friends, from your counselors, from your coaches. You've learned from so many people about what it takes to be a man for others. Now the challenge is for you. Do you go out in the world, go beyond this campus, and continue those lessons, continue acting as a man for others? That's your challenge. It's up to you now. The night before I went to college, my parents gave me a little poem, and it talked about how they've given me wings, and now it was my chance to fly. Fairfield Prep has given you the wings, taught you how to be a man for others. Now it's a challenge to you to go out, carry out those actions in the world, and be a positive force. Continue being a man for others. The second thing is to give and take opportunity. One thing I've learned in my life is that giving an opportunity to yourself or to someone else is one of the greatest gifts that we can give each other as humans. So over the next 4 years, give opportunity. Give yourself an opportunity, give someone an opportunity, and give something an opportunity. In my first class at Fairfield, it was a Spanish class, 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and I walked in and I sat down, and this guy walked in and he sat next to me, and I turned and I looked at him, and he had a New York Yankees hat on, and an Alex Rodriguez New York Yankees jersey. And being from Boston, these are 2 of the worst things that you can do. Right at the time of the season, right after A-Rod kind of spurned the Red Sox and signed with the Evil Empire. And one of our first assignments in that class was to introduce each other in Spanish. And this guy turned to me, and out of his mouth comes this thick Jersey accent. And it just drove me insane. Drove me nuts. But I said to myself, I'm not going to judge this guy. I was in a new school, I was in a new place, and I wanted to give people a chance. I wanted to give him an opportunity that maybe beyond that Yankee shirt and the Yankee hat, he was an alright guy. Next month, when I get married, right up at the chapel, that same guy will be next to me on the altar as my best man. You're going to meet people over the next 4 years from all over the country, from all over the world. You're going to meet people who you never thought you would interact with. Give them an opportunity. Give everyone you meet an opportunity. You're never going to know what interaction you have when you meet someone, how much they're going to impact and change your life. It's also important to give yourself opportunities. Before I went to Fairfield, I had always wanted to be a teacher. That was my dream. Imagine that. The summer after my junior year, I had an accounting internship at a firm in Stanford, and after the internship, I was offered a job. And as honored as I was to receive this offer, I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I told people that I wanted to turn down this offer because I wanted to be a teacher. And reactions to this statement were a little mixed, and people were a little apprehensive, understandably, as I had never taken any education classes. I wasn't certified. And I was turning down a comfortable job at a time where jobs for college graduates were sometimes hard to come by. But I wanted to pursue this challenge. I wanted to give myself an opportunity to pursue my dream, something that I wanted to do for a long time. I worked my tail off, I networked for interviews, and after a few bumps on the road, I got my dream. I got my job as a math teacher. Was the process scary? Yeah. Was I concerned that I would end up living back in my parents' house, no job, wishing that I had just taken a job that was comfortable and would have gotten my life off to a comfortable start? Of course. But I wanted to give myself an opportunity to pursue and follow my dream. The world that you guys are about to enter is full of opportunity. Act respectful, be polite, work your tail off, and go get your dream. The third thing is that you always need to put people first. And a story that I heard at Fairfield in one of the activities I did in campus ministry when I was a student there is a story called The Mayonnaise Jar and 2 Cups of Coffee. And the story is about a philosophy professor. And the professor stood before his class and he had some items in front of him. And when the class began, he picked up a large mayonnaise jar and he filled it with golf balls. And he asked his students if the jar was full. And they responded that it was. Then picked up a box of pebbles and he poured the pebbles into the jar. And it kind of filled some of the spaces between the golf balls. And again he asked the class, was the jar full? And they again agreed that it was. The professor then picked up a box of sand, and he poured the sand into the jar, and again asked the class, is the jar full? And they responded with a unanimous yes. After that, he took 2 cups of coffee from underneath the table, and he poured the entire contents of the coffee into the jar, and the students laughed. Now, said the professor, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The golf balls, the first things that he put into that mayonnaise jar, are the important things. God, your family, your health, your friends, your favorite passions. Things that, if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles, the second thing that was put into the jar, are the other things that matter. Like your car, your house, your job. And the sand is everything else, all that small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first, there's no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same thing goes for life. If you spend all of your time and all of your energy on the small stuff, you're never going to have room for things that are important to you. So pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness, the things that make you happy. Talk with your family. Take time to develop your faith. Have a relationship with God. Play another 18. There's always going to be time to clean the house, fix the garbage disposal. Take care of the golf balls first instead. The things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand. One of the students raised their hand and asked what the coffee represented. And the professor replied, just goes to show you that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a couple of cups of coffee with a friend. In the next 4 years, you're going to come to realize that life is busy. Sure, you're going to go to school, so you can get a good education, you get a good job, you get a nice car, you get a nice house, you get these nice vacations that you want. And sure, all the small stuff in life is always going to take up more time and energy and effort than you'd ever want it to. But the most important thing is your relationship with others. Treasure each relationship that you have. Life is short. Cherish each moment that you get to spend with each other. Over these next few weeks, as you come together as a class to celebrate your 4 years here at Prep, take advantage of all these opportunities to interact with each other. After you graduate next Sunday, everyone will start going their separate ways. Sure, there's going to be that first Christmas break back, and there's going to be that first summer back. But it will never be the same as it is now. Take advantage of every relationship you have, every relationship you will have, because this is the important stuff. Thank you guys for the opportunity to allow me to speak to you today, and also for the honor to work with you guys over the past 4 years. As you leave Prep today, as you leave Prep next Sunday, and you enter into that world, be a man for others, take advantage of opportunity, and always remember to put people first. Thanks.